Welcome back, everyone. Let's remove the bookmark and continue our epic tale. So, heroes of Belepharin, you have split up. Going into the forest, there seems to be a small kind of haze, like a fog that looms over from the sea. It doesn't obscure your vision, but it does make an eerie chill upon your skin as you pass through the flora around you. The trees go up high, though the moon does shine down through, providing at least some illumination so you can see along your way if you don't have any dark vision, though it is difficult nonetheless. We'll first start off with the two of you who are going through the front entrance directly to the encampment, unhidden. Are you trying to stealth, or are you just walking in, Valoran and Sokali?
Oh, there's no stealth here.
We are going for it. Yep.
Yeah, we mean business. So I think if we were sneaky, they would perceive it to be, oh, what are these two sneaking for? So no, chest up, head out, confident footsteps.
Awesome. So you are walking through the brushes, pushing your way around, trying to just make your way throughout the forest. Eventually, you actually roll me perception checks, the two of you.
So 21.
19.
All right, 21 and a 19. Very nice. You hear the sounds of twigs and sticks crack towards your left and to your right. You immediately look and you see coming through the trees on the outline where you are two centaurs that walk up with their weapons out. You immediately hear them go, "Halt! Who are you?"
Oh, that's quite the joke. Lower those weapons. We have been sent on the behalf of Magistrate Leonis, and unless you'd like us to report back that we were met with such great hostility that my companion here almost soiled himself, you would do well to lower. And also, rein in the attitude a small bit. Thank you.
Roll me a deception check at advantage.
The other thing that Valoran is quite adept at doing. Oh, that's a nat 20, so that's 29.
Woot. Very nice. They immediately put down their weapons. They have worried looks on their faces. This looks to be two male centaurs, not wearing any armor on them. You're wondering why they aren't cold, but their equine bodies are well furred, and they have their spears lowered down to their sides. I'm sorry. You come on behalf of Leonis. Yes. We weren't expecting any visitors, but please come this way. Please. And they look very distraught, and they're fumbling over their words. This way, please. I'm sure you're going to want to speak to Lady Aquis.
Yeah, we will need to speak with her immediately, please.
Oh, no, Sakal, we don't need manners. No, refrain from using those, please. Lest these gentlemen come to think that we are their lessers.
No, of course not. No, of course not. If you are here on behalf of Sir Leonis, then we mean no disrespect. Come this way, and they quickly turn around and begin to slowly trot over towards deeper into the forest. This way.
Stupid centaurs with their 4 legs, 2 arms.
Quite the observation, Sokal. Yes, they do have 4 legs and 2 arms. And it seems to be working. And yeah, we're just going to trot on, pardon the pun, behind them.
Okay. Eventually, you make it towards a clearing where you see there are several centaurs just looking around. There's 2 actually in the middle of what looks to be a battle. You can barely see it as they're illuminated by the moonlight from above as they're fighting, slashing each other, dodging, lifting up their legs and beating each other with them. As one falls to the ground, you hear everyone shout, "Hey!" As the one that seems to have won stands there. It's a woman with long hair braided all the way back, her equine body much larger than the rest, as she smiles over and says, "Looks like my reign continues. Try again next time, Ignis, but I rule." Now until my end of days. Who's there? And she immediately turns, picking up her weapon. Everyone else draws their weapon. They're all 16 of them are pointing at you.
Now, Lady Aquis, your posturing, while it seems to enamor or terrify those around you, there really is no need for hostility. We have been sent on behalf of Magistrate Leonis. There are things you need to be made aware of.
This two-legger speaks of Magistrate Leonis? Yes, my Lady Aquis. Yes. The one guard who was in front of you says, he comes with news, and you, like you said, we should not upset Sir Leonis. She begins to walk in front of you. She stands well taller than the both of you as she looks down with her huge body. Roll me another deception check at advantage.
That's another nat 20. It's 28 total.
She stares at you, her eyes beady and squinting as she's analyzing you. Wish he would have sent a warning of some kind, a sending message. Those magistrates have magic, do they not? Fine, I just finished my workout for the day. What brings you here?
In his head, Valorant has not thought this far. Lady Aquis.
Well, you see, we've come to make sure you delay the attack.
What? Why would I do such a thing?
What my
We are not prepared across the gate.
Lady Aquis, if you'd permit me, and I'd just like to turn and
I thought you said we don't need permission.
This lady needs permission.
I still don't think she does. Still a centaur.
I'm just gonna gently backhand SoCal, like just yeah. In the same way, you need to keep your men in check. This one's new, though. As
and this one's so new, his head is soft.
Though he has an energy about him, what he does speak of is true. However, I must urge you, there is caution required. It has nothing to do with your ability, nor the ability of those that you command. Leonis is still quite confident in that. However, what I need to speak to you of, we must do so in private.
Seems to be discord among the house of Leonis here. Well, whatever. You don't need to do it in private. Whatever you say to me can be said in front of my men. Come, gather on, everyone.
Yes, because they're all equal and below us, Valoran.
Let's hear what his glorious magistrate has to say. And they all trot, get closer towards you as you relay a message. Meanwhile, sneaking in from the southern entrance, Arkno and Dirk, you begin to make your way quietly. I need you two to roll me stealth checks as you're trying not to be found. An 11 and a 14 from Arkno and Dirk, respectively. All right.
I also will add that once we get into a good position, I will have Cigar snake ahead and help us uncover those traps or make sure that we don't trip any of them.
All right, roll me an investigation check. Advantage if you're getting help, since you're using some aid.
Could it be survival, which is to identify traps and natural hazards?
Okay, I'll allow it. You can roll. So you're out in the wood and you're not in a dungeon or some kind. So yes, it will guard a survival check.
22.
22. Many traps indeed. As you take a couple feet forward, your familiar friend stops and points out one of the traps. Looks to be a string that, if tripped, would release what looks to be some type of a log that would slide down, smashing you across your head, doing much damage and alerting them of your presence.
Not there. I'll put my hand out. Mark that spot. You see the wire? Cigars coiled underneath it.
Yes, no, I see it.
Okay, you continue your trek through. Still keeping that same score. Cigar goes around and continues searching for it and sees yet another tripwire trap. This time it looks like it's not a trap to stop you, but to alert of your presence if you made it this far. It's too wide for you to go around it, you think. You might need to disarm it, though.
Let's see. This one we must disable. Do you have tools?
I don't think tripwires can be poisoned, so...
Perhaps you need to think... What is the phrase? Outside of the container.
Box. It's outside the box.
Oh. Could we perhaps put some of your acid on the hinge? You could poison it.
It's poison, not acid. They're different things.
Oh. Well, now you're just confusing it. Okay. Let me, and I'll just sort of like try and take a closer look and really examine the trap to see if we could potentially disarm it without setting it off.
Okay, so you go ahead first. So roll me a wisdom perception check to see if you can kind of figure out how this is, if you can notice anything about how it's set up.
15.
15, okay. You definitely see how where the wire goes up, how it wraps around the tree, and how it gets to the alarm. To disarm it probably wouldn't take too much. You could probably cut some wires or wrap it around a different tree even tighter so that it wouldn't go off as you proceed. But to do so, I'm gonna need you to roll me a dexterity check. If you have Thieves' Tool, you can use your proficiency, but if you don't have Thieves' Tool, just a straight dexterity check as you're using your fingers and your motions of your hands to do it without setting it off.
I am decent with my hands, but I have big fingers. Are you more dexterous? Because I could see where we need to hold the wires.
I am not dexterous in that way. However, I think I may have a different idea on how to do this now that we understand the mechanism.
And I'm going to crouch down and place my hand on the ground, and then the spiders will start to crawl out from my hair and onto the tree that the trap is wrapped around and start spinning webs to hold it in place, and I would like to cast Entangle to secure that line so we can safely cut it.
Okay.
Cool.
Certainly. So you go ahead and cast your Entangle. Just check off your spell slot for the spell, unless it's a cantrip.
It is. I wish. It is sadly not.
All right. So you cast your Entangle as the spiders go down and the vines reach up and wrap around the tree, holding the trap in place. After a few moments, you are confident that it's held and you can easily disable it with no check at all, or simply step over it and continue, as it will not go off, held tight by your entanglement.
It is definitely Clothis' will that today we are joined together in destiny. Fantastic work, child of Farika.
That's why I keep my family close.
You remind me of someone I met from that house. He kept his family close too.
Was his family also spiders?
They were special. Not spiders, though. Let's proceed.
Alrighty. So you continue going through over the trap, not setting it off, making your way to the other side. Eventually, you get to the clearing where you see through the moonlight all of the equine creatures and your two allies who are in conversations. All their backs are turned to you, as it seems that they are enthralled in whatever message that your friends have to say.
Can our allies, are they in a position to see us?
It's dark. They probably won't be able to see you without some type of light source or some type of thing to alert them of your presence.
Well, don't tieflings have dark vision?
Oh, yes, they do. So Valorant should be able to see, correct?
Yes, I do. Up to 60 feet away.
Okay.
Are we approaching them, as they're forming that ring to talk to them?
As you approach, they've already formed the ring, so their backs are to you.
Do Arkno and I have a second to
Oh, yes, they're in the middle of conversation at this point. You do have as much time as you think you have. I mean, they could turn around any time. Who knows? It's totally up to you.
I whispered, do we try and ambush them? Their backs are turned. Or do we poison them? There's cups of meat and drink around. They've been merry in their spoils. Look, all of the treasures are over there. Perhaps we poison them. That is surely why Clothis has joined us tonight. Ah, shush, I say to myself. So I start to get a little excited.
Poison their food, perhaps. This could work.
Do I see like a source of something I could poison with relative confidence that it would take with them at some point?
Well, there's definitely... actually, roll me a perception check at disadvantage unless you have dark vision.
I do not.
Is there's not like a campfire in this area,
No.
sort of illuminating this space?
No, they're using moonlight, the centaurs.
Oh.
It's okay. My perception's pretty good, so hopefully it's not too bad with disadvantage.
Oh, not bad.
Okay, so a 15, nice. Yes, they don't want to light fires. That will give away their location. They're trying to be incognito.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, 15, you indeed do. So not only do you see the area where there is a pile of treasure, must be what they've stolen, all neatly packed together, but you also see there are kind of barrels of looks to be water and mead that could be poisonable, as well as several cups around that they've placed down. At this point, you start to hear the voice of either Valoran or Sokali talk, as now the centaurs are especially Aquis turns and says, "All right then, tell me, what is it that the great magistrate has to say this late of an hour?"
It is not entirely good news, Lady Aquis. You will, of course, be aware that Magistrate Leonis, in his infinite wisdom, had several officials, guards and magistrates alike, on his side, in his pocket. And he now believes that that network has become compromised. And, my lady, he fears for your safety. It would appear that somebody has alerted city officials, and a rather esteemed group are traveling from the north to deal with you and your band. I would, or rather, my lord would require you to head them off, as I believe he put it. Was that how he put it, Sokal?
That is precisely what he said.
He doesn't believe they pose any real threat, of course. He's very much aware of your physical prowess and your ability in combat, and that of those you have flocked around you. However, he does believe this group need to be taken care of, and should you venture north and wait, you would have the opportunity, you would have the upper hand, and he believes that this suggestion is the correct course of action. And to sweeten the deal, I do believe that Lord Leonis, or Magistrate Leonis, did stipulate that this group would be rather well equipped and endowed with various expensive accoutrements and gold and what have you. That would, and I. Valoran would really just sort of diminish what we've acquired to date. So that is his suggestion, and Valoran would like to cast suggestion on Lady Aquis. I know that was a very long sentence, but the suggestion is that she takes her men north and wait for this and ambush this fictional group of interceptors.
Okay. So, you go ahead and cast your suggestion on her after doing this explanation. And well, actually, before you do that, well, as you're doing that, roll me a quick perception check.
That's an 8.
An 8. Okay. It's really dark, and your dark vision can only go so far. So you don't really make out. You're wondering where everyone is. You're hoping that your two allies are nearby, but you can't quite make out where they are. But the two of you do hear him put on this show. In casting this spell, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and if you open up the combat tracker, you should now see Lady Aquis. And you can go ahead and target her, and she will roll a wisdom saving throw. Okay, that is a 7 versus your DC.
15.
All right, so that is a failure. She looks over at you, and for a moment she shakes her head, and her hooves clap a little bit on the ground, and she goes, Well, fine. We wouldn't have gotten this far without Leonis anyway. If he suggests that we move north temporarily, then fine. We'll acquiesce. Fine. Well, let's just gather our things and be on our way. But tell him we shouldn't wait too long, and I am expecting a handsome payment.
And on that note, my Lady Aquis, he is aware, of course, of the trouble that you and your men will undoubtedly, has been languished on you. So he has offered a small contribution to aid you on the road, and here it's 100 gold pieces. Sokal and I are to stow the goods that you have acquired away. Leonis does not wish to trouble you any further. We will have a small caravan. I believe they may be approaching shortly to help, as you put it, acquiesce, or rather acquire what you've already attained. And we will take care of those so that you need not worry at all. And I'd like to hand her the 100 gold pieces.
All right. Minus 100 gold from your inventory as she quickly grabs it, shakes it up and down. Well, with this, I'm sure that is fine. All right. We have gold, boys. Fine. The items are over there, and she points over to her right. At this time, the two of you are in the midst of, two of you as in Dirk and Arkno. You are slithering your way, trying to poison their drinks and their water one by one as you're continuing. Luckily, the drinks are on one side and the gold is in the other. As they point, everyone looks on over. Doesn't happen to catch you as you're sneaking over to the side as you easily... How much of your toxins are you jumping into their food and water?
I have a total of 3 vials, and we've determined they have a thing of water and a thing of mead, so it sounds like we need 2, if I'm understanding this correctly.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Okay.
So we've concocted the plan. Dirk took one of the vials from Arkno and handed it to Cigar, who coiled around it, and is slithering over to the water. And once it's there, he'll use his mage hand to dump it into the open cask of water.
Yeah, the way that Arkno casts his mage hand is his spiders will crawl onto his hand, sort of forming the outline of it. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen how, like, some spiders can, like, throw a silk out onto the wind and it'll, like, float with them. That's basically how it works. So, like, the silk is what forms the hand with just, like, a bunch of spiders floating on that, and that's what the mage hand is that opens them up.
Very nice. And you guys easily are able to, no checks at all. They're heavily distracted thanks to the gold and the silver tongue of Valorin as you dump it into their liquids easily, noticing that they're looking away, but you have mere seconds if you're trying not to get caught. Roll me one last stealth check as you guys try to hide back into the shadows before they notice your presence.
In lieu of a stealth check, can I instead use my Firbolg hidden step ability to turn invisible.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay, then rather than risking a +1 stealth check, I'll just turn invisible.
Okay. I'll keep that one. Still roll stealth check. Do it at advantage, but the DC will be changed.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
I only have a +1 stealth as well, too.
So you just also turn invisible, right? You can do that
yeah.
too?
I will just roll and see what I get.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So they go and they say, and you hear him. You hear Aquas go. Well, pack up, boys. We're heading out. Just one last drink, and kind of turn their head, going invisible instantly. Arkno, you were unseen, though standing there, just walking back after pouring a vial into the mead. You see is this tall, large,
Goliath.
creature, Goliath, thank you. Tall, large Goliath. You stay there, like kind of frozen Dirk, as you look on. All eyes shoot towards you. What is this? Intruder! Intruder! And everyone starts to pick up their weapon.
We got lost, boss!
And then they look around for another person. They don't see it, but they all start to surround you very quickly with their equine feet. And you see a shit ton of spears just pointed toward you, surrounding you.
Lauren, is that one of those bad people?
Oh, SoCal. Yes, but unfortunately, one of the bad in the sense that this is all we've been able to hire. Lady Aquis, I had mentioned that there were others arriving to help. You can see how low Leonis has actually fallen, and that this is all we've been able to hire. Lady Aquis,
I could carry a lot.
Yes, you can, Dirt. Yes, you can. Lady Aquis, please forgive him. He has a rather thirsty throat on him, and he has been known. He's one of those people who skulks around taverns, picking up a discarded glass here, a discarded glass there. But you can see purely by his gait, the chap is, he's here for muscle, not for brains.
I don't like to be surprised. There was only two of you. Who more is inside of my woods?
Dirt, did you bring anybody else?
There's a Spider-Man here somewhere.
Who? What? There's another.
He's a friend, though. His sister's here, too.
Will you tell this to Mr. Magistrate Leonis? We'll return this one to him. Sick, fine, and dandy. Once we have our gold. I don't like to be made a fool of. As collateral, how does that sound? And they all point and poke their spears at you.
Lady Aquis, I believe that I have been more than polite in my dealings with you. I of course am operating on behalf of Magistrate Leonis. I don't think the magistrate would be too pleased had I returned without the men he had paid for. I do humbly apologize. Feel free to backhand one of them. I find it really just helps clear the air. But they will need to return. Magistrate Leonis, he trusts them. And I can once again only apologize. As I've said, what they lack in grace and intelligence, they more than make up for in their ability to carry things and hitch things. So while I hear what you're saying, I don't think the magistrate would be willing to hear you out on those terms, seeing as how he has taken the risk of tipping you off, I believe is what they say, amongst gangs and stuff. He's tipped you off as to the nature of the impending, and I believe that is actually of the more prevalent and pressing nature here. Let's not forget that, well, if those people do arrive, it's not just our heads on the line, but And Valoran's going to look around. Everybody else's.
Persuasion check at disadvantage.
Okie dokie. 12.
Or 12. She doesn't look like she's buying it.
I see him starting to flounder in the over wordiness of his response to her. And I begin to cast Charm Person as I take over the conversation.
Okay, who are you casting Charm Person on?
This captain here.
Okay. The leader, Aquis?
Yes.
Aquis? Okay. So you go ahead and quickly, as it looks like it's not going the way that you had seen it, now that Dirk has been spotted and mention of another person somewhere hidden, you quickly cast your Charm Person. So go ahead and use your first level spell slot and target her so she can make a Wisdom saving throw. Alrighty then. So that is, she rolled a 15, which successfully saves from your DC 14. Unless there's anything you wish to do.
Oh, I don't think there's...
Didn't you have inspiration?
I did have inspiration, actually. I will just use that inspiration.
Alright. Well, you can go ahead and roll it one more time. We'll count and she'll take the lowest of the number. A 6. She fails. Alright, so knock off that DM inspiration.
Yep.
Okay.
So, like Valoran was saying, we really need you just to vacate quickly, no matter what personnel we have brought with us on this glorious day to bring you this news. It is just something you need to do.
Okay. In your words, seems the gods have elevated your power, allowing you to enter the mind of Lady Aquis. She looks like she was about to rise up and attack and begin being hostile, but now she looks docile. Her shoulder sinks down a little bit, her eyes go a little blank, and she seems to be in a little bit of bliss. Yes, what was I doing before? I'm sorry, I was so hostile to you.
You're gonna drink more water because you need to stay hydrated.
Oh,
Dirt, that is not true.
Can we come stand over there now?
Aquis. I think it would be best if you went north and searched for the city of Thalia and talk to some of the magistrate there. I think they will be able to help you out the most.
You must be. You're right. You're right. Hey, boys, put down your weapons. Put them down now. And they all look confused. But being that she is the leader of the pack, they begrudgingly acquiesce down and put down their weapons. And they just look confused, like what? But my lady, don't talk back to me. This is an ally of us. He is an envoy.
Leonis,
of the magistrate Leonis.
Yes, and Leonis was very adamant that you make extreme haste with all of those extra legs you have.
Fine. If that is what Leonis wants, but if that's what you want, my dear friend,
yes,
then
I actually
so
am Leonis's boss.
Well then
I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
Wow.
Yes, I actually come all the way from Miletus. I come all the way from Miletus, as a representative there. Leonis, he has ideas, but he has no vision.
All right, fine. We'll leave the items. You will get it with your caravan. We'll return shortly once we get news from the magistrate. And
there's no need to return. I believe once you get to Thalia and you talk to the magistrate, they will know exactly what to do.
Okay, then we'll do as you two said. We'll listen for word. We'll take it from there. How about that? Come on, everyone, pack up. Let's go. And they go to take a drink before they go. Like, there's no time for drinks. We must make haste, as he says. Come, we ride in the night. and she begins to go off, and they all like look confused, and they go off into the forest, leaving the piles of treasure and all the other things that are left there, and the poisoned mead and water.
So Callie just waves goodbye. Make haste! Be sure to get there. Get away from here as fast as possible. And then I look to my companions. Because the charm person runs out in about 55 minutes. Honestly, Valoran, what was going on there?
What? It worked. I don't understand the nature of your question.
Come on, let's see what they were hoarding.
Where did you go? Arkno?
At this point, Arkno reappears and, like, slaps your arm and says, "Why on earth would you tell them I was here?"
I don't know! I felt like I couldn't lie. I was scared.
Just don't say anything!
I thought that Valoran was gonna say something else.
Then you don't talk!
You know, Kiliad says that silence is golden.
Then take that advice!
Yes, Dirt. I believe that is what you should be doing.
They're not here anymore.
All right. So you guys go. Oh, go ahead.
No, it was SoCal is right. The magic used to convince that lady isn't exactly going to last forever. When the effects do run out, and between all the messing around we did in that noggin of hers, I don't think she's going to be best pleased with us. So best we pack up now. We need to reclaim the stolen goods, then go back to the city, then we can have Magistrate Leonis dealt with, and at the very least we can tip the guards off that, well, if they head north, they'll find that pack of, well, very, very confused centaurs, I imagine.
Well, didn't those guards say that the people of this city are here somewhere? Shouldn't we, that whole prophecy thing, shouldn't we try to find a guide here and just get on our way?
Oh yeah, no, that all that other stuff is rudimentary. We still have to deal with and Valoran's going to point up at where the sun would be if the sun was there.
I think the guide's in the city though, right?
Yeah, this city.
Oh, yeah, okay, so we're on the same page. Yeah, I knew that too. I'm gonna start packing all of the things into my backpack. I have an extra big one to lug all of our crap in.
Okay. So you spend time scooping up the item. You see there's all different types of gold and family heirlooms, special items. There's one thing that really sparked your interest is a kind of golden compass, heavy to lift that seems to be spinning in all types of different directions. Maybe it's just like an heirloom or something fancy, but keeping that in mind, you go ahead and finish packing all the different things, and between all of you can easily carry what has been stolen through your backpacks and other miscellaneous things. They even have bags for you to use to carry them in it, like a sack.
Are there spare water skins here by chance?
Yeah, they probably would have left their water skins. They just ran out of there, so you probably can find about 3 or 4 water skins that have been left over.
Can I fill those water skins with the poison water?
Sure. You can easily scoop that up. Just right in your inventory, just put 4 poisoned water skins.
It's a shame they broke this old ancient compass. It must be some family's wonderful heirloom. Pity, and I'll hand it to Valoran to look at.
It is indeed a compass, and it is definitely doing something.
Alrighty. So you go ahead.
Can I detect? Because I have detect magic as well.
Oh, sure. You go ahead and cast your detect magic on it, and indeed, there is an enchantment placed on this. It looks like it's some type of special compass that provides a beacon, a guide through exactly what you're not sure. It looks like it has to be used in a certain way. And detect magic, doesn't initially tell you, more of like identify would tell you how to use it, but you definitely can see that there is an enchantment magic placed on this, and how to use it and things like that. You'll have to dig more deeper onto that, but it is a magical compass.
We are going to hold on to this. I think we deserve a reward, and I also think this is going to be useful.
It's Clothos's will.
Yep. If Clothos, now requires us to be somewhat klepto, then yes, certainly, Clothos's will be done. We'll also, when we get to the city, I do think it's best that we maybe seek out Temple of the Gods or something like that. If you could all cast your mind back to the prophecy, there was mention of making our way to a tapestry of the gods, and I think the compass and that might point us in the right direction.
In that city, that's probably easy to find temples to all of the deities.
Alrighty. So, in gathering all the gold and the belongings, you pick them up and continue making your way back down to the city proper on the coast. You continue to you make your way back onto the main road and head yourself south further down the pathway. The guards are not there right now. This doesn't take very much. It didn't take very long, and they ran into the city to warn as you had wanted. So eventually you guys walk your way to Neil Lantern's entrance. There you see there are tall walls surrounding this entire coastal city on the areas where the water doesn't meet the land, whereas the rest of it is protected by a sheer cliff going down into the water. You can kind of make out from here where the docks and the ships would be, because you can see many ships off into in the background, though. To see it better, you probably have to go inside of the gates. There, 2 guards stand up on top of guard towers looking down on you with light shining directly at you. Halt! Who goes there? What? Wait, and then, they look down and see kind of like your outfits and the normal thing. It looks as if you're adventurers, and they say, "You do know that Neil Lantern is closed due to an attack from centaurs. Please turn back."
That matter has been dealt with. The centaurs are, well, they're not exactly gone, but we're here to return these stolen wares.
They go, and the one guard blinks. "Oh, you are the adventurers the heroes who, excellent, please, open the gate. It seems that the heroes have saved us." And the gates open up, revealing the gates open up, revealing Neil Lantern proper. As you can see, it's this very small city. Small little shops are here and there, and you can see off not too far in the distance, maybe a few hundred feet, is the dock where there are a few ships. Please, this way, the magistrates. If you follow this road up for about 100 feet and make to the left, there's a building where there will be. They're eagerly waiting your arrival. All right. And so you all, unless there's anything else you wish to do, enter into Neil Lantern. Immediately you can smell the scent of seafood and all other types of coastal scents passing by. There are people who are walking on the streets. They look downtrodden. Who knows how long this has been happening, but it seems the morale in this city has shot down as people are going into their individual homes and houses after seeing you. After hearing the shouts of the guards that you have returned from defeating the centaurs, a lot of people perk up, look on, and whisper in amazement at the heroes of Bellerophon who have entered their abode. Surely you do make it the way, turn left and see a large building with columns in front, painted kind of a dirty white. You don't know if that's how it's supposed to be or just it's not been cleaned in some time, but you do see the staircase reaching up into the building. Stepping up, you go. There are no doors. It's just wide open, and you can easily see in the back. It's well lit. That there are elevated seats up against the wall. Almost think of like a judge in their podium. As you see, there are about 4 members of what you can assume is the magistrate standing there, eagerly waiting your arrival. Oh, come in, come in. One gentleman in a long purple robe says to you, I hear you've bested those centaurs that fought. That bested the centaurs that pillaged and ravaged our city. Did you come returning the items, yes? The human gentleman says.
They're right here in my pack. Doof, and I'll take it off my shoulder and drop it in front of him.
Oh, praise be the gods, praise be.
Well,
go ahead.
not entirely. So it's kind of complicated. Their leader, for the next 45 minutes, thinks that they need to leave, but after that, she'll definitely know that I charmed her, as I wink at the guy.
Okay, standing next to him, you see, is another human woman, dressed in the same ensemble. A third, slender, younger, you think maybe barely in his teens, gentleman, of the same clothes and human as well. But the only person who's not human in this case is a Leonin standing there, and he looks on over you, hearing your story. His white fur kind of well kept and brushed back. He's muscular, just as muscular as probably you or Dirk, as he steps down from the podium and gets closer to you. My. So you've defeated Aquis and her band of centaurs, have you?
We didn't know their name. How did you know their name?
The other tourist says, yes, how did you know? And he just like, I have my ways of knowledge. From what I've heard, yes, apparently their story goes long and far. Didn't you hear? No, we have not, Leonis. And everyone kind of staring at him, and he starts to sweat a little bit. No matter. These heroes have saved us. Perhaps we should go in search of them and arrest those mongrels. I'll send my men directly on it, don't you worry.
Valoran just kind of steps into the middle of the forum. It's like, well, Magistrate Leonis, your reputation, sir, precedes you. You've had how do I put this in terms that may resonate with you? Your influence, sir, seems to be very, very, very far-reaching. And I think a man of your talents would find themselves sort of stretched thin by now. Surely you don't think we dealt with Lady Aquis and didn't learn a thing or two.
He looks over and he looks really nervous.
I'm gonna walk up behind Valoran and just sort of stand in like a big, like ominous, like overlord, and like sort of look like this giant shadow behind him, like this massive bodyguard.
Okay, roll me intimidation check at advantage. Valoran, because you started it, but advantage because Dirk is helping you.
Oh, a nat 20? So 26
wow.
again.
How many of those have you rolled?
These dice
three nat
are
20s.
broken, man. Not in a bad way.
He turns and everyone now shifts and looks on over at Leonis. Leonis looks to his left, looks to his right, and just runs. Immediately you hear one of the magistrate goes, Guards! Guards! Stop him! As many guards start to appear around, surrounding him, and he looks left and right.
Does he look back at us?
Yes, he does.
As he looks back, I'll hold my finger out and I'll say, Clothis divine will commands you to halt! And I'll cast command.
Okay. What is
Wisdom DC only 11.
Okay. He starts to move and then stops in place. Turns around and stares there looking at you with his head down.
It is her divine will that he stands. Bind him!
They immediately go and bind him together. You were rude this day. I'll have my revenge. I will have Neil Lantern. No, all of Meletus, you see the Leonin will rise again. And he gets pulled away towards the side. The magistrate turns to you. Thank you, heroes. For without you, we would not have been able to root out this cancer that's grown within our midst. We can open our borders again. You've done us a great service. Is there anything we can do to aid you in your journey?
Yeah. Actually, we have this prophecy we're trying to fulfill, and we need a guide to take us over the brine, as our prophecy put it. Have anybody with a ship?
Oh,
But they should be not knowledgeable. They should be unwise. Right? Isn't that what it said, Valoran?
Valoran just kind of looks at Dirk. There was mention of a guide, an untraditional one. I think that part of the prophecy we've managed to determine ourselves. Pray tell, magistrate, what do you know of this? This happened to be amongst the stolen goods that that centaur woman had, and my companions and I, we believe it is directly linked to this prophecy. And I present the compass.
Oh, the compass is the guide.
He looks down at the compass and says, it starts to analyze it. Oh, there is one guide. No one trusts her. Well, if you meet her, you'll find out. That belongs to Rashida. That can be found down the docks. Her ship is not the best of ships. So I think that you should probably find someone else. But yes, that is the compass of Rashida.
Nope, she's the one. She's the one.
Yes, it's exactly as I thought it would. The compass guided us to Rashida. So now we move on to another guide. Thank you, magistrate. Good fortune and all that. Just as I'm getting very adverse to the lingo. Just as a bit of a heads up. SoCal is correct, and that centaur lady is going to be peeved. Is I believe the apt word that we might use. So best you have several. I think we had a 16 was a nice round number we had learned of their forces. So you have that to deal with. So why don't we go and meet with Rashida and good luck.
They're running north, but then they're gonna come back south. So you probably have some time.
Excellent. That will give us enough time. The main problem, we could never find them. They're so quick. But now knowing where they're coming from and rooting out that evil, I think we'll be able to gather all of our forces and actually be organized to put a stop to them once and for all. Safe travels, heroes, and may your journey be fruitful. Praise be the gods.
Praise be.
As we walk out, Arkno turns around at the last minute and says, if you happen to come across some barrels out there that are full of water and mead, do not drink from them.
Oh, yes, we've thoroughly poisoned those, right? And I'll, nudge Arkno.
But maybe leave them in the square there, and these centaurs, thirsty from running an hour and then running back another hour, maybe they'll stop to think everything's fine, see that we're gone, drink some, and there's your problem.
Hopefully that will cull the herd. Big wink. Big wink.
Excellent idea.
Let's go, Dirk.
Okay. So, can I please have SoCal, Lee, and Dirk roll me d6s once you've defended a city from evil, as well as defeated a creature that has stepped past its place. You have gotten divine favor from your respective gods. So, Kali, you've gotten 3 more points, where Dirk, you got the maximum of 6. Does that cross any threshold?
Let me see, I don't know.
Did you mean to say that I only got 2? Because I only rolled a 2.
You got, because there's a number added depending on what you've done. So
Okay.
you got 3.
Got it.
Don't question the DM when I give you extra.
Just wanted to make sure.
Teacher, did you remember to collect the homework?
That is exactly the type of player I am, damn it. Because that's what I always hope my players will be like.
They will not. You know this.
This is true.
No thresholds crossed.
Okay.
No. I believe that brings me up to a total of 6, though, which is exciting.
Okay.
Creeping my way up.
All right, let's see if you're able to make it.
16.
Okay. So you all continue and make your way towards the dock, heading to see if you can find this Rashida. Apparently you'll be able to find her through the crappiest looking ship along the wharf. Oops. The waves crash against the shore as you continue to make your way through near Lantern. As you get closer and closer, you can hear the screeching of the seagulls as they go across the brine. There, as you look left and right, you see it's not very busy because it's late, but there are ship captains loading things onto their boat one by one as you try to find this crappy looking ship, if you will. The first few ships look very well in shape. Probably not it. And you kind of continue walking down this long dock one by one. It doesn't seem very busy as it is a little bit late. Though towards the edge, you start to see in the very last dock kind of opening where there's just rocks and the smells of dead fish. The worst position you can be, a raggedy looking small ship. Slightly larger than like a sloop, and a woman sitting there on a plank, seemingly whittling something with a knife and wood in hand.
That's her. I think that's her.
Captain Rashida, I presume?
She, as you're quite a distance away from her, and yeah, you yell out to her, but it doesn't seem that she notices as she continues to whittle. There's a plank that you could easily walk up and get onto the ship if you want. I'll bring you closer to her, but right now she doesn't seem to. She's either ignoring you or just doesn't hear you.
Rashida, Captain! I shout it, waving my hands at 7'6". I hope that I can be seen.
You see her for a moment stop whittling. She looks up. You see her nostrils flare up as she takes a big whiff. And you see now you can see her. She has dark brown skin and braided hair that goes all the way down to the middle of her back. Her clothes are tattered slightly, though she does wear like a captain's hat in a similar ensemble. As she takes a whiff, immediately as you look, her eyes open up and you see that they're completely white. I smell something quite gamey. No. It smells like a minotaur of some kind. When a large creature from the mountains, no? Ooh, and a strange creature to these parts. And then poison. Who is in my presence? And she walks around, bashes into the side of the ship. Ooh, and then continues, kind of trying to fumble her way across. No, stay right there. Don't worry. I can find you. She continues to smell. Starts to slowly make her way down the gangplank until finally reaching the same level as you all. She then gets really close towards Soul Callie, takes a big whiff. Right, you're the Minotaur, no? And begins touching you without permission, just touching on your large body.
I flex, bouncing my pecs a little bit. Why, yes, my lady. I am Soul Callie, Bard Extraordinaire.
She immediately goes towards your throat, but not aggressively. This just very. She just goes very calmly up towards your throat as you talk, and she tends to bob herself towards the vibrations of your throat you feel, and she goes, "Soul Callie, right?"
Yes.
As you nod your head, she puts her hand in your head and she feels nod. Yes. I assume you agree? Well, welcome. My name is Rashida Tavir. And how can I be of service to a specimen like yourself? As she smiles and she has kind of, not rotten teeth, but they're definitely a little decrepit.
Well, my colleagues here have something that belongs to you. And as a sign from the gods, somehow I think you are to get us out to sea.
You say you need to pee? Or just go in the water?
Valoran, you speak a little bit more eloquently than I do.
Yes, Captain Rashida, he does need to pee. But Sokal is a distinguished man, and not just any water will do him. I am Valoran of the Moon's Eye, and this, my dear, is yours. And I'd like to place the compass in her hands.
You go ahead, and as you start talking, she kind of follows the vibrations on the wind and places her hand on top of you. Then hearing that something you place the compass on top of the hand that she placed on you, and she immediately goes, her eyes kind of wide, become wide as she goes, "You have found the compass. Oh, finally I can set out to sea again. As you can tell, I am blind and also deaf, but I can sense things to the vibrations on to touch and smell. But it's hard to navigate the ocean without my special compass. Thank you. Vestoria, I know you said your name was." She placed her hand back on you.
Yeah, I guide her hand up to my throat and kind of place it over the vocal folds. And I just start making a more conscious effort to project from this part of my body. Valorian of the Moon's Eye, Captain Rashida. And if you are heading out to sea, well, it is destined then. I do believe we are fated. And as my companion was saying, we do need to get out to sea. We are charged by the gods. We are to deal with an issue.
Talk louder. She said she's deaf.
I beg your forgiveness, Captain Rashida. Not all of my associates are equipped with.
I'll take one of her hands and put it on my throat and chest, and I'll say, "Hi, I'm the mountain man you smelled before. We're called by the gods. Destiny calls. You must take us."
Right, aren't you a colorful bunch? All right, sure. You have returned my compass. I can now head out to sea again. Tell me, where have the gods charged that you must go to? I know these waters better than any sightseer.
I take her hand off of my neck and put it back on Valoran's neck.
It's the worst game of telephone ever.
As you would expect of the gods, Rashida, they didn't exactly divine us with a map. However, the words spoken to us seems to point to you. Sight with no eyes, sound with no ears. They make mention of a tapestry of gods.
Tapestry of gods. And she goes and scratches her head. The only thing I know is the tapestry of the gods. Well, the stars themselves, are they not?
So, Valorant had a brainwave.
That's poetry. Can I use that?
Don't ruin the moment, SoCal.
All right,
Valoran's had a prophecy of his own.
A prophecy of the prophecy.
Yes,
I don't think you know how prophecies work, Dirk.
Be that as it may.
He's going full on Raven Simone now. It's bam. What was that? It just happens when Valoran gets an original thought. You are correct, Rashida. It took speaking with somebody of equal mind, really, for me to see it. The gods are speaking of the stars, and they made reference to fourth from the light, fourth to the light. So the light being the sun. What do we know of in terms of stars in this area, as I am now beginning to run out of things that Declan can actually bluff his way through anymore?
She goes and turns and says, well, the stars out in the sea, these seas are cursed. As you know, not many would brave these eerie shores, but I have been known to travel amongst it of somewhat. If you really want to see the best spot to see the stars, well then I suggest we head towards the Temple of Time, though it is a very dangerous journey.
Could I ask you as the DM to reread the...
Sure. So, the four shall travel far across the brine to return the fire that burns the Temple of Time. Travel first to the tip of knowledge, which you have done, to find the guy that none acknowledge, which you have done. Sight without eyes, sound without ears, use this against the sirens you fear. It is seen under the tapestry of the gods. Go forth to the light to increase your odds. With eyes wide open, retrieve the stones, then free the sun to shine the unknown.
Okay. She must know a way past the harpies, then.
Sirens.
Sirens. She must know a way past the sirens, then.
Yeah, she's deaf.
But she must know a way for us, too, right? That's why Clothis has sent us this way.
I can lead you to... Yes, this is true. There are sirens on the waters, and they will sink you to your doom. They don't affect me, because as you can see, I, am of without sight and sound, and their song does not reach me. Though for you all, I suggest you just try to close your ears as much as you can. Although, unless you're completely make yourself deaf, I don't think it will be much help. I can't do anything past that, unfortunately. Unless you want me to stab your ears. She chuckles at this.
Could we just put something inside of them instead of stabbing them?
I mean, that's not much fun, but sure.
Do you have any beeswax lying around for the ship?
I'm sure one of my servants will be able to find it for you. As she snaps her fingers, you can hear footsteps on the plank. Though looking, you see nothing. Eventually, after a few moments, carrying just a floating barrel, comes rolling down towards you and opens up on his own. Don't mind the unseen servant. Looking inside, you see some type of wax. I have the extra wax. I use it to clean my ship and fill up and repair. Perhaps you can stick these in your ears. They might help.
No, sorry.
I was gonna say, I'll take a handful of it and smear it on the inside flap of a book, and I'll put it in my pocket and I'll say, I'll use this later, thanks.
Sure. Remember, they get into your mind, so hope you have a strong mental fortitude.
Well, Dirk's dead.
Good luck us.
Can I use thaumaturgy to create just a high-pitched noise, kind of like my own voice, really, but just even higher, just constantly ringing in my ears to try and help with the beeswax scenario?
Sure, yeah, you totally can do that. Or you assume, unless you're going to do it now,
that's my long-term plan.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like a feasible plan. Sure, you can give that a try. Well, no time like the present if you're heading towards the Temple of Time. I'm eager to get off and see. I really get my sea legs when I touch the waters. Do you wish to head now, heroes? It'll take us a few days to reach our destination.
What do we all think? We're all supplied up, ready?
Yeah, I think we better go.
Arkno nods his head, desperate not to speak, lest fear that this woman will come up and place her hand on his throat and potentially proc the spiders.
Ooh, creepy crawlies. I like it.
Arkno stays quiet still.
She smiles and walks up the gangplank. Come now, we set sail in 1 hour. Prepare yourselves, for the night is dark and full of terrors, and the waters bring upon the demons of the underworld. How fun! And she goes and heads and starts preparing with her. And you can see that, in a way, because of lowering down the mast and preparing the ship, it's happening simultaneously. Like, this is a 10-man ship, to say, so her doing it by herself seems impossible, but you get as from her movements, the way she's moving her fingers, that she's probably controlling some type of invisible forces around her to aid her in her journey.
Just move all of our shit onto the boat and maybe take a look around, get familiar with it. So that way we like have a good familiarity of where we are, and that's it. Wait to set sail.
All right. So you all board the ship. About some time, you prepare yourselves to get yourselves ready for the journey, and the time passes by. You hear her yell out, "And we set sail down to the darkness, up to the temple of time, underneath the tapestry of the gods." Ooh, poetic. As the ship catches wind, as the sails unfurl completely, push. The wind seems to be in your favor. If anything, the gods are aiding your journey. Pushing off from the dock, the anchor is raised, and you head off, going further down the Siren Sea towards the Temple of Time, hoping that your guide can get you there, as she is deaf and blind. But the entire time she holds out the compass, and she moves it left and right, and she seems to nod her head and continue going into the direction that she's going in.
You said it was going to be a couple days, right?
It would be a few days, yes.
Okay, so on the second or third day of travel, when it seems that we might be in an area she knows that the sirens live, we would try and prepare before we get into audible range of them.
Sure.
That's the plan.
Sure. Let me give you all a long rest as the days pass on one by one. The sea definitely has been rough around here as you head further south. From your just basic knowledge of Theros, you can realize that you're heading towards the Dakra Isles, where all types of strange things happen. One said legend that pops into your head is one of a place that only shows itself underneath the stars. Assuming that must be where you're heading, you go off, as these are things that are told to you throughout the days by Rashida. On the third day, the boat, you start to see the sails raise a little bit by invisible forces. The boat slows down.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So since a few more days have passed, has it been perpetual night for these past few, since the first time the sun came up on the beginning of our journey? Has it come up again?
The sun has come up in one of the days. You went off, so after the second day, the sun has risen and then quickly gone back down again. And so far, this day, it has been perpetual night.
Okay, so it was like night, day, night, day, night.
Night, yes, exactly. There's an eerie chill that blows across the water as you all are on top of the deck. Rashida says out loud, "Shh, the sirens are here. I can smell their presence. You may want to prepare yourselves. We will try to go through slowly, stealthily. But if they make an appearance, we must go post haste. Defend the ship if they come. If I'm taken out, then, well, let's just say you'll be lost in these eerie waters for the rest of your days."
With her warning, I'll beeswax my ears. And also I'll put little pieces of beeswax in the holes of Cigar's ears too.
Okay.
Or do snakes have ears? Someone will correct me.
Do they have flaps?
Well, he gets little beeswax too.
I don't know, to be honest.
Let's
Hey,
share the
Dirk,
map.
can I have some of that wax?
Oh yeah, I have enough for all of us. I took a big handful earlier, and I'll like open up the little container that I stored it in.
I scoop some up and make 2 small little wax balls and carefully cover my ears so it's snug but not forever yammed in there.
Oh, I just like smeared it like peanut butter in my ears. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the beeswax in as well. And I think because so I have a couple of different other things. So between the thaumaturgy, I also have the ring of mind shielding, and I also have advantage against being charmed because of my piousness and my with Krufix. I got that. And also, unless these sirens are male, there's going to be zero interest at all. So just as a heads up for Valoran.
Sure.
Arkno is not going to do the beeswax, but instead will have his spiders put a thick coating of webbing on his ears. Because to him, that's less gross.
Alrighty. It's going to position you guys more where you would be on this ship. You all can see the map, yes? Alrighty. So you begin to slowly sail down the cloudy waters and in the dead of night. As you look up, although there's a, you can, actually no, you can't even see it. You try to look up at the clouds or at the sky to look at the stars, to see the tapestry of Nyx, if you will, but unfortunately, it is blocked by this thick fog. There's a slight hum heard off into the distance. As the ship continues moving, I need everyone except for Valoran to roll me wisdom saving throws at advantage.
My piety also gives me advantage against being charmed, so...
Well, you don't have double advantage.
Oh, just saying. Oh, not that great.
Right. And SoCal.
Sorry, I was
Right, so we-
double checking something really quick to see if I could affect these rolls in any way.
Mm-hmm. So, Arkno, you have a 19, Dirk, you have a 13, and SoCal, you have a 15. You guys don't hear, although there is a sound emanating from the distance, the wax covers your ear as well, but just barely, a small whisper enters your, maybe not your ear, but your mind? You're not sure. As Dirk, you look on over the edge, and something just pulls you closer and closer. Valoran, as you have the circlet of mind, the mind shielding, none of this enters your brain. There's no way for any external entities outside of Camp Alepharin from entering your mind, and you just hear nothing, see nothing, and are unaffected by this siren's call. The rest of you do hear something, but you're able to stave it off. Unfortunately, Dirk, you're pulled closer and closer towards the edge. You all see him move slightly. Only thing that goes into your head is that there's something that you need to look at over the edge as you make your movements.
I can still sort of act freely, but feel that way.
Yeah, yes.
I know. Okay, so then with that knowledge, I know that we all put stuff in our ears. So I'm gonna gesture to the other ones, like you have to see this, and wave, and then go to peer over the edge.
Can I, as I see Dirk being extra Dirk, can I cast Calm Emotions on him to suppress that? Because it effectively it suppresses any effect causing a target to be charmed. But to literally just, because I'm like, oh, okay, clearly it didn't work. Whatever it is, something's piqued his curiosity, and we can't be dealing with that right now. Can I target? Yeah, you can target allies, can't you?
Yep, same exact way. And he fails with a 4. So you are charmed by, or you are affected by calm emotions, Dirk. You feel something pulling you further, and then the words or the energy from Valoran's spell envelops you, and you just halt and stop.
I'll turn around and be like, it probably wasn't that good. Never mind. I'll wave like a shrugging emoji. I don't know what I was going on about. Wave back.
Alrighty. And then as you stand there waiting to see if something would happen as in your boat, as you continue to move further, actually, none of you will be able to hear. If you all have stuff in your ears, none of you hear this, but you look on over and just see Rashida just screaming as the sails drop down and the boat begins to pick up speed. As each of you looking on over, you can easily see appearing out of the water are several fishy, scaly women, almost dryad or nymph-like. As they pop up, their mouth revealing jagged teeth. As you start to move past them, and they're sailing at the same speed as the ship, as they start to begin to make their way up, seeing that they're called and not pull you over. And I'll quickly need you all to roll me initiative.
My weapon of warning lets me roll at advantage.
Now I roll well.
So, where's initiative on the character sheet?
The INT on your main page?
Yeah, just saw it, sorry.
No problem.
Mine said 0, that's why I didn't recognize it. So like 2.
Oh, rough.
Alrighty, so we have Kali with a 21, Arkno with a 12, Dirk with a 12, and Valoran with the 2. Okay, so Kali, you look on over to the side. You can't hear them, but it doesn't seem like it's doing much of effect. It had aided you to not hear their voice, but they still seem to affect you, but you've staved it off. No longer are you affected by the siren's call, but you see that they can do much more than use their voice to take down weary travelers as they begin to make their way towards the ship in attempt to. You can see that they're starting to jump up out of the water, getting higher and higher as if they're trying to prepare themselves for boarding. What would you like to do first?
In this instance, how far away would you say they are?
It's about 25 feet away.
Okay. I'm going to pull out my longsword and prepare, ready an attack for the next move that happens. And that'll be my turn.
All right. So you use your reaction to hold your action to attack as soon as one would come closest enough to you for you to make a swing?
Yes.
All right. Excellent. Arkno, you're up next.
All right, so Arkno is going to pull out his longbow, and he is going to aim it at back out there, at the one just off the side, which is apparently Siren 13, and I'm gonna shoot at it.
Alrighty, roll your attack.
Dang it.
A 10 misses, unfortunately. You go ahead and knock an arrow, releasing it, but the fog is too much, and they're able to duck underneath the water, dodging your first strike.
First and only because I'm the only one of us who multi-class, so I don't get extra attack. And they're not close enough to do unarmed strike, so that's actually all I can do.
Alrighty then. Up next is Dirk.
This is unacceptable. They are impeding us on our path to save the gods. And this imposition of sirens infuriates me, and I'd like to fly into a rage.
Alrighty.
When I fly into a rage because I'm steeped in magics, I actually get to roll on my magical wild surge chart. So as a part of my rage, effect number 3 happens, which says, an intangible spirit which looks like a flump or a pixie, your choice, appears within 5 feet of one creature of your choice you can see within 30 feet of you. At the end of my turn, the spirit explodes, and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 force damage. And until my rage ends, I can use this effect again to summon more spirits on each of my turns as a bonus action. So, in this moment, I just start to seize with rage and say, "These sirens are a pest!" And out of nowhere, a little spirit will appear next to Siren 3 and 1, and it will look like a look like a flump floating on the water, and it'll like look like a happy floating jellyfish, and after a moment its smile will turn to a frown and then explode. And then I actually have a short bow on me, so I will pull out my short bow and knock an arrow and try and fire at the ones that are ahead of us. So I will target siren number 8, and I will make a shot.
18 hits. Roll
right.
damage.
The first arrow will do 6 points of piercing damage.
The siren screeches in pain.
Yes, let us hear more of your wails of agony. And I'll pull out a second arrow, and I believe even with bows I get it too. I'm not really a melee person, but I do have the extra attack feature. It says when you attack, you can attack twice, so even with bows, correct?
Yeah, yep.
Awesome. Okay, so I will loose that second arrow.
Ooh, 15 misses.
All right. That was my bonus rage and attack. I'll stand in place.
Alrighty, so you go ahead using your wild magic ability to make the symbol appear next to it. It begins to become bulbous and glow until finally at the end of your turn, it explodes. They have to make dexterity saving throws, am I correct?
Yes, DC 14.
Natural 1, that's a failure.
Okay, so they both take, ooh, yay, 6 damage.
Alright, 6 damage to Siren 3 and 1 as it explodes and you see the water like a geyser rupture up, causing, and you hear the screams of the sirens.
Yes.
Alright, Sagar goes next. What would you like your familiar to do?
He will just slither down my leg and over onto Valoran and aid him in any way that he may in the future.
Okay, so he will provide the help action. All right. So, you said Valoran? Valoran? Yeah. Okay, so Valoran, you see a snake crawls up your side as it goes into your shoulder. It begins to hiss, looking over at enemies to aid you, pointing them out so you can clearly find them before you, and you will get advantage on your next attack.
That ends him.
Well, actually, the creature has to be in 5 feet. So if they do jump up in front of you, you will get advantage against them. But you do get advantage on your next ability check if you so need to make one. Okay. The sirens will go. So the sirens will swim. A bunch of the sirens will swim their way over towards the boat and begin ramming into it in an attempt to topple it over. You are all covered with wax and you cannot hear the cries and screams, but you can see the wild motions that Rashida is making. But 3 of the sirens will make their way onto the boat, which is siren number 1, number 3, and number 4. As they jump up, landing before you, they land right next to Valoran, and 2 go between, one next to Arkno and one next to Dirk. Those 3 sirens will then continue and start their attack against you. The strike against Valoran is a 13. Alright, so you take 13 points of damage. Oof, a massive amount of damage that came from that one.
Boy, 50% of my health, but thank you.
And they all died.
The next will be Siren number 1 against Dirk. 13 versus your AC.
That's a miss.
Alrighty then, does not manage to hit you. And finally, Siren number 3 against Arkno. 10 versus your AC. So you nimbly dodge past as they try to make a bite, their jagged teeth showing, protruding out of their mouth. They go and make a lunge and you dodge out the way. The same for Dirk. Unfortunately, Valoran, you were able to hit. They're not very capable of hitting. They move slowly when they're out of water, but you still crash into the mouth as it takes a chunk out of your arm, pulling back, the blood dripping down its throat. The rest will continue to strike against the ship and at this same ship. So let's see if Rashida can manage to keep the ship afloat, or do you all go falling off?
I use just the one that actually bit me. Could I use Hellish Rebuke as my reaction?
Oh, you totally can. That was Siren number 4. It succeeded with a 15. meeting your DC. Okay. Now, do they take half damage?
They do, yeah. Sorry, I was pulling that up there.
No problem. You can go ahead and roll, and it should automatically apply that. All right. 7 points of damage on 2 as you breathe fire onto the siren. You can barely hear its screams as it's standing right in front of you. Your ears are still jam-packed with wax as you feel it. What you see it wail back and forth, its fishy scales burning away. But with a natural 20, the sails pick up and the wind catches it catches the wind as Rashida continues to move the ship with grace and elegance of a true captain, bobbing, keeping the ship up. It is now your go, Valorant.
I am going to cast Magic Missile on Siren 4. I literally hit them with everything.
Alrighty then. So you fire magic missile after magic missile, blasting, doing how much points of damage?
8
3,
total.
6, 8 points of damage onto it as the creature looks bloodied as you strike it with your force effect, blasting it back. Anything else you wish to do in your turn?
Nope, not this turn.
Alrighty then. The boat continues to move faster, closer. So Kali, very quickly with the movements of the captain, you can start to see a little bit of breakage in the fog and see a small temple or a small island off into the distance.
I see my companions all around me, each with an enemy in front of them, and knowing that I can be of more assistance to them through the power of Heliod, I raise my sword into the air like a lightning rod for Heliod's energy and shout, "Bless your hearts!" And I cast Bless on Valoran, Dirk, and Arkno.
Alrighty then.
So let
Go
me
ahead.
actually... So Bless has been automatically added to each of your characters.
Very nice. You feel the warm embrace of Heliod upon all of you as you are blessed by his power, gaining a 1d4 to your, I believe, ability checks and attack rolls?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, saves and attack rolls.
Correct, yes. Sorry. Should have said that. And while I'm on a roll with this, I will use a point of bardic inspiration as I look at the siren in front of Valoran, which is closest to me, and shout out, "I know you can do it. You really can if you really try. This has been very bad poetry."
Alrighty. And giving him bardic inspiration?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and what is your inspiration die? Is it a D8 at this point or a D6?
It is a D8.
Alrighty, hearing those words, both bolstering your attack, you feel the presence of the god of the sun upon you as well, and knowing that you have 1d8 towards your next roll if you so choose within 10 minutes. Anything else you wish to do, so Kali?
I will take a few steps back and move towards the center of the ship, and that'll be my turn.
Alrighty, Arkno, you're up.
Okay. So, I noticed the Valorian's not doing super well. I'd like to try and fix that if at all possible, so what I would like to do first, apologize if somehow I do any of this wrong, I want to use my Step of the Wind feature. I'll expend a key point in order to bonus action disengage from the siren that is attacking me, so I don't have to worry about opportunity attacks.
Alrighty, yep.
And then I would like to use my movement to get... would it be possible for me to get in a position where I am next to Valoran, but also able to attack Siren 4?
Let's see. Yes, you can go right below him and do that.
Okay. That's just... cool. And then after that, I would like to use my action in order to use Cure Wounds on Valoran. So wait.
Alrighty. Go ahead and target Valoran and roll your Cure Wounds. Nice. 7 points of healing to you, Valoran, as you feel Farika's embrace encapsulate around you, and your wounds heal up, and the blood stops dripping.
And with that, I actually, since I used my Step of the Wind and used a key point, I can now use a key empowered strike in order. Or wait, hold on. I think I may have. Let me double check, make sure I didn't do that wrong. Oh, it's a bonus action. Okay, yeah, never mind. I can't. I thought I'd be able to do something cool, but no.
That's alright. You were able to heal your allies, stepping through, using the wind picks up beneath your feet as you begin to step, dodging quickly past Siren number 3, making way beneath Valoran. You touch him with the healing arts of Farika, healing his wounds, and then taking a battle stance to defend against Siren number 4. Dirk, you're up next.
Seeing the sirens come onto the ship, now they're in melee, I'll drop the bow and pull out the hair of Clothis, my great axe, and say, no! And in a rage, I would like to recklessly attack, giving myself advantage. Doesn't take a bonus, right? I just need to declare it, yeah.
Correct.
And recklessly attack this one that has pushed its way in front of me, impeding my destiny. And I would like to swing away. Upsettingly, only a 16, which misses.
Fortunately, a 16 misses. Their armor is pretty tough. Their scales that they're wearing, you're unable to pierce it with your weapon.
How dare she?
Just needed one more.
How dare she? I'm going to make, as a part of my action, a second attack against this one in front of me. Defying Clothis will. Not in my presence. A natural 20 for a 28.
Critical hit. Roll that damage.
The siren is going down for 21 points.
And you cleave straight through that siren. She just completely gets cut in half, her body falling over. She steps back just a little bit and the pieces go into the water. And the other sirens look shocked and scared as they see that.
Siren number 4, as it looks shocked, I point my finger at it and I say, Flumph! And then a spiritual Flumph will appear next to it, behind it. And like if it turns its head, it sees this like magical Flumph appear smiling and then slowly turn to a frown, which will explode at the end of my turn, and I'll take a step forward, engaging Siren 3 behind me, and going into melee with it for next turn.
Alrighty. At the end of your turn, this is where it explodes?
It needs to make a DC 14 dexterity save.
Alright, let's see. Alright, a natural 15. It is able to nimbly dodge. Let's take half damage.
No, so no damage. So
Okay.
you all hear like a pop noise off the side of the ship as the flump explodes, but
Well, you don't hear it as your ears roll.
oh, you see the flump explode off the side of this ship as we sail quickly past it. So that one missed. As
Alright, is Cigar going to continue to aid and grant advantage on attacks with creatures within 5 feet of it? For
yes,
Valor.
yes, he will.
Alrighty then. So the snake will
Or
continue
rather,
to aid you.
he will, instead of aiding the caster, he will slither forth and distract the siren, if possible.
Okay. You will go ahead and try to distract the siren, seeing if you could grant any type of disadvantage with his
He
help.
does this sometimes with me. He sort of coils up on his shoulder and then like springs himself forward and launches at the siren in front of him. And it's like a jumping snake trying to scare the siren. Go, Cigar, get him!
Alright. The sirens will go. For the most part, they're once again going to attempt to break and twist to knock the ship over. But the sirens on the ship still will continue to do their attack. So we'll first have the siren 4 and number 3 continue their onslaught. So at disadvantage, we'll try to attack Valoran. Ooh, a 12, which still seems to hit. Ooh, that was a big roll. Doing 19 points of damage with his bite. Luckily, you were healed by your allies, Valoran, as you slowly take more damage from Siren number 4, even though it was the snake was interposing in between the two of you. Siren number 3 will attack Dirk, because he's reckless, is at advantage, getting a dirty 20. You take 17 points of damage from this creature.
I would like to use my reaction, and I would like to use my Stone's Endurance as a Goliath, steel myself for this oncoming attack, and reduce the damage by 1d12 plus 3. Or, in this case, heal myself for 4.
All right. Your endurance is strong, and you're able to stave off 4 points of that damage. All right, let's see if Rashida is able to keep the ship afloat and lead you to your destination. She is quite the captain, quite the helmsman, as she is able to veer left and right, dodging some of the sirens. She yells something out that you can't hear. At that moment, I need all of you to roll me a dexterity saving throw as the boat lurches, heading directly towards the shore of the temple that appeared underneath the sky.
Can I use my inspiration?
Sure.
I have Danger Sense, which gives me advantage on dexterity saves with, like, things like this. Can I roll at advantage?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay, so we have a 5 plus 6. Okay, not too bad. 11 from Valoran. We have a natural 20 for SoCal Leave, a 25, a 17 from Arc No, and as well as a 26 from Dirk. Okay, everyone passes, but Valoran, you rolled high enough to not fall off the ship, but unfortunately the lurching of the ship knocks you off and you fall to the ground prone. You need to use half of your movement to stand up once again, and all melee attacks against you will be at advantage as she moves the ship to the side, trying to keep it aloft. And it is now your go.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand up,
All right.
kind of bracing myself a little bit. I'm gonna take I'm gonna use my action to disengage from Siren 4, and I would like to move kind of behind SoCal, to here. You know, he's big, he's broad, he's the perfect shield. Can we see the other sirens out at sea?
Yeah, you can see them. They're kind of like ramming the ship and coming back, so you can easily see them.
If they're in the kind of the current position as they are laid out, on Siren 10, I'd like to fixate, and using my meta magic for quickened spell, I would like to cast on Siren 10 as the focal point, the Hunger of Hadar, and that is going to be kind of a nifty one. I haven't used this before. Void is filled with a cacophony of soft whispers and slurping noises that can be heard up to 30 feet away. No light, magical or otherwise, can illuminate the area, and creatures fully within the area are blinded. And the void creates a warp in the fabric of space, and the area is difficult terrain. Any creature that starts its turn in the area takes 2d6 cold damage, and any creature that ends its turn must succeed on a dex saving throw or take 2d6 acid damage.
Alrighty.
And just fixating on Krufix, and wanting to get the hell out of here alive and away. That's what comes to mind, that somewhere beyond anything I can see or feel, in horizons that are far distant memories to Valoran, he conjures this on that space.
Alrighty. And the arms of Hadar appear in the waters, wrapping around the sirens as they all look confused and encapsulated in a blanket of darkness. If you could hear, they would be screaming in fear. Anything else you wish to do in your turn?
No, that's me between my movement and my meta magic, my bonus action. I'm good.
Alrighty. So, The ship continues moving forward, bursting out of the clouds, the haze, and becoming so much closer to the shores of this large temple on this island. You can see there is a picture of a sundial, or not a picture, more like a stone carving of a huge sundial at the top of this large temple that stretches hundreds of feet down the island. As you look on over at Rashida, she kind of points forward over there and mouths something that you can't quite make out as the boat continues moving. At this moment, as you get ever so closer to your destination, you notice that the harpies start looking at each other, and the ones in the water fearfully just dip down. Like, you see them like head towards, look over at the island, and duck down. You guys wondering what they're looking at and try to see. And as you kind of turn and see what they're looking at, the sirens start to back up as well. It's not their turn yet, so they're unable to do so, but you can see that they're forgetting about you at this moment and going to go across the water as the look of fear appears on Rashida's eyes. The water starts to bubble in front of the temple right before the shore, as bursting out is a huge serpent-like creature reaching about 15 feet in the air. It begins to yell and howl, screaming as water shoots out of his mouth, dripping down of his body, causing a humongous wave that she barely is able to keep the ship aloft as it begins to slow down to not crash into this massive sea creature. And I'm going to reveal it on the map. You notice as it begins to make a large shrill, its eyes open wide and they are ruby red and almost fractaled, showing every different section, showing like a bug's eye almost, reflections of all of you as it begins to glow and look down onto you, seeming to be a protector of some sort or something of this island. It goes and enters the fray, rolling a 17 on his initiative. But we go to top with this new revelation. We go to the top of the round. So Cal, you're up. You see that the sirens are scared and are trying to get away. No longer hostile, at least you think. But now this new creature in front of you. What do you wish to do next?
Seeing that I will be of little use against that large monster with this sword, I look at Dirk almost begrudgingly for a second, but shout, "Dirk rages all the time. Total eclipse of the heart of a lion," as I shout out a haiku of inspiration.
Alrighty, and Dirk, you hear that haiku, and as you do, you feel the inspiring words of Heliod, the energy. Like, you may not be able to hear it, but you can feel the energy. You can read his lips, and a little bit of that pierces through the wax that is in your ears that are slowly starting to melt away from the attacks that you've gotten. And you get 1d8 to your next roll. Well, then roll of your choosing within 10 minutes.
I stomp my feet to the cadence of the syllables to help transfer the power of the inspiring word.
Alrighty, anything else you wish to do in this turn?
That'll be it. I'm still concentrating, so I really just need to sit back and wait a little bit.
Got it. The sea serpent will go. It will move around the boat, getting closer, first pointing, bringing itself right next to Dirk. Dirk, you feel a shadow. You see the shadow cast over you from the stars up above. As it looks down onto you, its breath smells like rotten fish. As it reaches back, it will attempt to grab you with its body, wrapping around you. Let's see if it hits. Oh, wrong one. Oh, and you're still reckless. 26.
This is her will!
As you were just grabbed and constricted by this snake-like creature, you are currently grappled and restrained by it.
Oh, well. Grappled I was fine with, but restrained now sucks.
And you take...
Oh, is it just grappled or grappled and restrained?
Grappled and restrained. specifically with this creature. 13 points of damage. You resist because of your muscular self as you are in this wild rage. Now trapped inside this creature, its head flopped directly onto the ship. It then moves over, slithering to make an attack against Arkno. 15 versus your AC.
Yeah.
Which hits. So it does 14 points of damage as it bites into your side. And with that, it will end its turn. Arkno, you're up next.
Okay. Is this thing in melee range?
Oh, it's right in front of you.
Perfect. Okay. Time to do some dumb stuff. So, Arkno at this point is going to, at this point he has already, put his longbow away and is going to pull out his short sword and is going to make an attack on the big fish. Man, woo!
19 hits. Roll damage.
Okay, also, I don't know if this is going to be able to apply all in here or not, but as I do this, I'm also going to use my ranger ability to mark this thing as my foe, so it'll also take an additional 1d4 of damage.
Alright, roll that 1d4.
And I'm also going to be using my Swarmkeeper ability to deal an additional 1d6 piercing with this as well, so...
Awesome, roll both of them.
Oh, I'm not good enough to know how to do this, I'll just roll it all separately.
Yeah, that's fine.
4 Spider Boys, 7 now, and mark there, so that gives me 10 points of damage on that one.
Awesome.
Bonus action attack. Gonna do an unarmed strike. That is a natural 20!
Natural 20, roll that damage.
I'm also not going to expend a key point to use my Way of Mercy ability, Hand of Harm, to do an additional 1d4 plus my Wisdom modifier of necrotic damage.
Very nice. Go ahead and roll that damage.
First, my unarmed punchies. It's going to be 6 damage on that, and then the additional thing will be 4, and then I have a Wisdom modifier of 3, so that's an additional 7 necrotic damage.
All right, roll another d4. I'm going to count your critical strike with this as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Ooh.
Ah, delicious. Delicious necrotic damage.
As you go ahead and pump up with necrotic damage, you see the serpent, even though it's holding tight to Dirk, wails in pain. Even throughout your clogging of your ears, you can hear it screech as it begins to. You can see you did a massive amount of damage to this creature in all in one turn, and is looking hurt. Still healthy enough, but hurt.
And let's see, action, bonus action. I believe that's about all that I can do.
Alrighty. Up next is Dirk. Dirk, you all look on over. You are just wrapped, constricted by this creature. Its head over by Arkno, who's went into slash after slash and hit and punches, doing damage. What do you wish to do?
I know that seems like I'm in a real bind, and it's going to be difficult for me to get out of this, and it's hard for me to think clearly, so I take a moment, and as I breathe out, I release a hot breath and end my rage as a free action. Calming myself and stealing my mind for a moment, I think that this is a part of her will. She has driven me into this situation, and I must prove myself and get out. And I have that power within me. And I realize that she has recently bestowed a new gift upon me. And I command this serpent to release me. And I will cast command for free on the sea serpent.
Now, does the sea serpent need to understand you?
I don't know. Let me look. Speak one word to command a creature you can see within range. The creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. The spell has no effect if the target is undead or if it doesn't understand your language. So I will...
Do you happen to be able to speak a language that a sea creature can speak?
It is larger than I am, so I'm gonna take a shot and shout it out in Giantish. Because I speak Giant.
Okay.
I'll
You go.
try and command it.
All right. You go ahead and shout the commands in Giantish. You all hear this strange language. And as you do so, the creature does not seem to pay you any mind or even shift. If anything, it squeezes tighter as it continues to look at Arkno. It does not know Giant.
Okay, well, that was a thought. First thought. Okay. So, in this moment, after feeling that my words have fallen on deaf ears, I'm just livid and just start to thrash about, and I would like to try and, as a bonus action, go into a rage again. And as I thrash about and call forth my energy and rage within, this would allow me to roll on my wild surge table again. And let's pray for a number 2, everybody, because that lets me Misty Step. An 8. I don't know what this one does. Let's see. A bolt of light shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 radiant and be blinded until the start of your next turn. Ooh. Until your rage ends, you can use this effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action. So as I'm writhing about, eventually this bright light will emit forth from me, hopefully catching the sea serpent's attention and making it make a Constitution saving throw.
All right, I'll have it roll the con saving throw.
14.
It is really fortitudinous, but rolled a 2 and failed.
Oh,
with a
nice.
7.
So it takes 5 radiant damage. And it is also blinded until the start of my next turn.
Alrighty then. So the creature wails in pain after it gets struck by the radiant damage of the celestials above. Its eyes become clouded over and it looks for a moment. It flails back and forth, but it's stopping. It sticks out its tongue, slithers, and seems to still focus on the creature in front of it.
That ends my turn. I can't move.
Alright. Cigar. Keep in mind, you still can attack, but attacks against you will be at disadvantage.
When you're restrained, you can't make attacks, I thought. That's why
Yes, you can. Attack rolls against creature have disadvantage. Attack rolls are disadvantage. Nothing about you not able to attack.
Well,
but
that was a mistake, but we'll note that for our next round.
Okay.
Cigar, again, will try and impose disadvantage on a creature that would attack Valoran.
Okay. I will allow that. So we'll go ahead and perform the help action in the sense of trying to distract Serpent versus Serpent to see if it is able to put a stop to this larger version of itself from attacking your allies. The sirens are all going to run. You can get an opportunity attacking against the sirens who are on the ship if you so want to, because they're just going to jump off and run away. If not, you can hold your reactions and let them go.
So I'm good for that. The hunger of Hadar is over. I'll drop concentration if they've just. I don't think I can move it. No, I can't. I just have to cast it again. No, that's fine.
Alrighty. But there are those who still started their turn in the hunger, so they have definitely taken damage from that, as little bits of blood appear into the water, and this seems to pique the interest of the sea serpent, possibly distracting it. We'll find out. At this point, your wax is starting to fade away a little bit from the movements and the yells and just you scratching your ears. You can hear the screams coming from Rashida as she screams out, "Kill the thing! Kill it!" And she begins to yell out there. She's trying to maneuver the ship as best as she can, but the creature is kind of holding tight, and any type of movement that she will do will probably destroy the ship. But she is still keeping it aloft for you. Up next is Valoran.
I am gonna do something very stupid, I think. And I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
Okay.
And hopefully don't kill Dirk as it gets dragged. So hopefully it doesn't, drown you. I could just do... No, scrap that. Because I really don't want to kill Dirk by accident in case it goes underwater and we drown him. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some of my meta magic points for a careful spell, and I am going to cast Ice Knife at the sea serpent.
Alrighty then, go ahead and roll your attack. Alright, so that's a hit. Go ahead and roll. Is Ice Knife a dex save or is it an attack with a dex save? Just remind me.
It's an attack with a dex save. It's
Yeah.
the piercing and then the cold damage.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, so you do hit. It saves from the cold damage, but it takes the brunt of the piercing damage. Go ahead and roll damage. Alright. The beast is looking very weak. You've done a ton of damage. Specifically, Arkno. It looks hurt as it is struck by the ice knife, though it was able to stave off from the cold. Okay, so up next is Sokali. What do you wish to do? It's now in melee range.
It is now in melee range. I will run up and attack it.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
Really good.
13 misses.
Really good. I look to my side and see Arkno, and I use my last moments of inspiration to shout out, "Do you ever feel like a old bag of holding? Spider silk flies free. Be inspired, Arkno, with my final haiku."
I don't get poetry, but I do feel inspired.
All right. 1d8 to your next roll in 10 minutes, Arkno. All right. So with those words, you after missing your first attack, you went to make a slash, but you bounced off of its hard scales. You say those words of inspiration towards Arkno, as is now the sea serpent's turn, who is busy, who is blinded but still can smell and sense where the allies are, and can use that instead, but disadvantage is still granted upon it as it's the hissing of Sagar, as it's also a snake, and they seem to be some type of strange speech to one another. Who knows what is happening with that, but it distracts the sea serpent as it goes and turns towards Sokali and makes an attack at disadvantage. Natural one, it misses. It slams his body against the deck. Unfortunately, distracted by its other serpent friend, you're easily able to dodge out the way. It then looks on over to the being that it has trapped within its constriction and will attempt to swallow you whole. 16 versus your AC.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. It turns around, looking down his body of the being that it has tightly woven into it. Then, releasing slightly, it quickly swallows as you are falling down the esophagus, trapped in, and you feel like its neck and its muscles pushing against you as you splash into some type of acidic liquid that begins to eat away at your flesh.
Her will tests me this day!
You take... At the start of your turn, you will start to see that the acid will start to affect you slowly as it begins to eat up at you. You're still restrained, but remember, you can still attack.
And I did
inside of
have
its
my
body.
great axe. I was holding it because I attacked the siren before, so...
Totally. Arkno, you're up next. You just saw your ally eaten. What do you wish to do? The creature looks weak.
Yes, it does, and I need to double check something real quick. Okay, that is how that works. Awesome. I realize this is not how it works, but in Arkno's mind, this is definitely going to save this quote-unquote lovable idiot that has quote-unquote helped them throughout their adventure. And I am going to place my hand up near the mask and whisper to myself, Urka, I know you're kind. Not quite my upbringing, but in this moment I need your knowledge. Help me to afflict this beast, and I might right the wrongs of this world. And I stretch out my hands, and I will use my piety ability to cast Ray of Sickness on this thing.
Alrighty then, go ahead and target and cast your ability.
Oh, please work. Yeah,
That is a hit.
that is beautiful. And then I needed to make a Constitution saving throw as I go ahead and deal the poison damage.
Alright, go ahead and select it and roll. Oh, actually, no, you're using the thing. Okay, so a con saving throw. It's pretty fortitudinous. Okay, but not today, as it has rolled a 13. What is the DC for the...
For the ability, it's an 11, so it actually does.
Okay then.
It still takes
Unfortunately,
8 points of poison damage, which I hope is enough to kill it.
not enough to kill it, but its body is starting to become weak. A few more blows you can feel and it will destroy this creature. Its eyes glimmering, bouncing off the light from the moon down onto his red ruby eyes as it looks over at each and every one of you. Not able to focus as it's blinded, but its tongue sticking out, trying to find who its next meal is. Let's see if Dirk is able to free himself. The acid burns, doing 7 points of acidic damage. What do you do while you're on the inside?
This displeases me. I hate being held against my will, and I'll just go into a frenzy, and my Goliath barbaric heritage takes over as I recklessly thrash about. And I will go and make 2 great axe swings against it. I'm already grappled, so it should be at disadvantage, right?
No, yeah, it'll be at disadvantage, and you're reckless to put at advantage,
Regular.
therefore you are regular.
So it should do it normal. Okay.
A natural 20. That hits. Roll that damage.
27. Yay! All right. Doing
9 hits.
9 points of damage. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, does that include my additional for rage? No, it should be 4 more points of damage because I went back into a rage. So that should be 13 points.
Okay. Describe your killing blow.
All right. So inside the beast, the sea serpent's beast, in this rage, I hold up Clothis hair, my great axe, and I start to just slash and swirl about, cutting off chunks of meat from the inside. And then eventually there's enough room to move about, and I carve my way through the throat and jump forth back onto the ship, leaving the corpse fall behind me.
Alrighty. And as such, the head, the top half of the body flies off as you chop it, revealing yourself to be just in nothing but acid and goo, as you're just covered in the innards of this creature as its head falls down onto the ground, onto the ship, its eyes wide open with the gleaming stones as it slowly stops moving and falls dead.
I'll put my great axe onto the deck. Doof! Her will be today that I'm the champion. This beast is slain.
The ship comes to a halt as finally you just push it out of your ears, stepping out, and like kind of touching all of you. Rashida goes, I don't smell the living serpent no more. I think you did it. Congratulations, heroes.
It was her will that this beast be slain. The gods have prophesied such a victory.
Could I, if the carcass is still on the ship, could I investigate those terrifying eyes of its?
Certainly. You go ahead. No need to roll. You go ahead and investigate the eyes. They're shining like suns. Those rubies are in its eyes. And you look on it, and almost you can see a freckle of fire, like a speck of fire that's just igniting every so often. You think back to the words of the prophecy. The words that say, free the sun, with wide-eyed open retrieve the stones, then free the sun to shine the unknown. What do you wish to do?
I'm going to take maybe one of my daggers and then look at SoCal and kind of maybe hang on a second. It's like, this isn't really, like, Heliot's all great and stuff. It was not my god, so maybe SoCal should be the one to do this.
Thank you. Thank you for thinking of me. And I go and take a dagger out and pop each eye.
All right, you pop them out one by one as a large, kind of like large egg-like shaped rubies come out. As you free them, they begin to glow brighter and brighter and lift up into the sky, going higher. The fog dissipates from the energy, and you all feel a warmth embrace. As they go up into the sky, they shoot up like a shooting star, but reverse, going up into the air and then shattering instantly. Daylight ruptures the sky. The heat returns, and even Rashida looks up and says, "Oh, I feel the warmth of the sun once again. You all have done it, heroes of Belleferin. You have once again succeeded on your journeys. Congratulations."
This was just a cosmic truth we helped unfold properly. It was her will that the sun be restored. And then I point towards Sokali. Today, you do not draw the ire of Clothus. The sun should shine. Balance restored.
Yes, today, Heliod's warmth saves us all.
All right.
Well, I mean, we did defeat the beast, so it was really Clothus's will that saved Heliod, you know.
I'd say this boat really did the trick. We would not have gotten here otherwise.
Again, it was like, you know, her fate that happened, but I'm tired. Let's just celebrate with some mead. You must have, right?
I have drinks down below. Please indulge, and I shall take you back to the shores of the shores of Meletus. And as you all go down and revel in your victory, you feel the presence of Heliod and the pleasure of Krufix. As once again, the passage of time can continue as it should, and the sun is rising high again. Heroes of Belleferin, champions of Theros, you have succeeded on your journey. Congratulations. The blessings will be felt from quite the time, as now it seems that the god of mystery blesses the world, granting everyone from now until the next time advantages against on their deception checks, as well as the power of the sun envelops everyone, granting all fire damage +4 to their damage in future campaigns. But with this epic concluded, and with you champion successful, we will close the book on the legend of Theros and end our journey for today. Congratulations, everybody. We have successfully completed Theros, Gods, and Glory.
Woohoo! We did it.
Woo! Good session.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for thank you for our friends Jordan and Declan. I'm so glad you guys were able to make it, and I hope you guys had a fun time.
It was absolutely a blast. I was happy to be here. Great playing with y'all. It was super fun.
Yeah, exact same. It's such a privilege to get to be a player, and so yeah, that was phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Of course, you can catch everything from our allies on ataleD20s.com, or please follow them on Twitter as well to catch everything they do. Amazing. #TTRPG community. We are stronger together than we are separate. And as always, you can catch all the bloopers, all the behind the scenes and things like that on our Patreon at patreon.com/ataleD20s, twitter.com at ataleD20s, or on Facebook as well at ataleD20s. One more time, Declan, can you please give them your website and or your Twitter so where they can find all your amazing work?
Yeah, sure. You can literally, if you search D8 Dungeon on literally Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, you'll find us. That's where we are. We have 2 projects. We have a podcast called Romancing the Dungeon, and a brand new stream on Twitch called Rise as Forsaken, which is steeped heavily in Irish and Celtic mythology.
Ooh, great. And you as well, Jordan.
Yeah, you can find us at agentsofdamn.com, on Facebook at AOD, Instagram and TikTok at Agents of Damned, and Twitter at Agents of D. Our podcast is Agents of Damned. We're up every other Friday. A lot of fun. Check it out.
Awesome. Great. And as always, from the first chapter to the last page, take care of one another, spread love, be kind, be safe out there, and we will catch you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.